Hello and welcome to another edition of Tuesdays with a Disability Policy for All. Today I have the great fortune to be talking to Timotheus Gordon, who is a land trainee in Chicago, and he is an autistic person. So welcome, Timotheus. We will be talking with him about a new study that he's developing. So can you tell me, the first question is, can you tell me about your land project?
Sure, I'd love to talk about it. Right now, my land project will be a leadership project, and what I'm doing with the project is to create a online survey on autistic people of color, and I would like to find out how do they identify as being autistic and a person of color. Which issues do they face in their community, such as how do they relate to their peers? Do they get discriminated based on their disability and their race? Those type of things. And eventually I want to also know how can autistic people of color come together and address those issues, not only in their community, but it could be bigger than that as well, nationally or even globally.
Thank you. That's so interesting. The next question is, will the survey have a national focus?
Yes, it will have a national focus. In fact, the people that I'm targeting communicate online, so it's not only people from my state is Illinois, but they are all over the United States, and some of my connections I want to interview some will live outside the United States as well, but mostly I want to keep it national.
Okay, great, thank you. How are you going to develop the data that will be used to determine in the survey?
That is a great question. I'll collect the data through, I'm giving the survey online, so I will post it on various Facebook groups that I'm a part of, and then I will have people to answer whichever questions that I provide. I'll make sure that's open-ended questions so that they can provide more answers. And from those answers, I can not only count how many people took the survey and which minority was represented the most. I can also use the data I can also collect stories from the survey to find out common issues that we as autistic people of color face.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is there a reason why you're focusing on people of color with autism? I understand that you have autism.
Correct.
But is there a reason why you're just focusing on autism?
Besides being a personal thing of mine, my passion, I focus on autistic people of color mainly because while there are a lot of things we address it now as autistic community in general, we are addressing more of how can we become a close-knit community and how can we address issues together, because that autistic people of color don't have as big of a community and as many resources. I'm targeting autistic people of color so that we could provide more connections and resources that they could go to, and they could also even start discussions on how is it to be a person of color and autistic at the same time, and go from there.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem.
If you have any more questions about this or any other policy issues, please go to the AUCD webpage and look for this week's in brief. And if you have any questions or comments about this week's Tuesdays with Liz, please leave them in the space below. Thanks again and have a nice day. Thanks to Timotheus.
No problem. Thank you for having me, Liz.
Bye.